There's something, well, almost magical about walking into a thriving garden, knowing every leaf and fruit is the result of simple, time-tested practices. Long before machines, chemicals, and modern gadgets came along, ancient farmers discovered clever hacks that not only worked, but often outperformed today's complicated methods. These forgotten secrets have stood the test of time because they are sustainable, natural, and highly effective. What's fascinating is that while modern tools may promise quick results, these old techniques build healthier soils, stronger plants, and more abundant harvests in ways science is only beginning to understand. If you've ever wondered how to grow crops with minimal cost yet maximum yield, the answers lie in these ancient methods that still beat many modern solutions hands down. Let's dive straight into 5 powerful gardening hacks from the past that every grower, beginner or seasoned, can use today for healthier, more productive gardens. Composting is one of humanity's oldest farming secrets, and it remains unbeatable. Ancient civilizations relied on decomposed plant and animal matter to enrich their soils, long before fertilizers were invented. The principle is simple. When organic waste breaks down, it transforms into a nutrient-rich material that acts like a slow-release fertilizer for plants. Unlike chemical fertilizers that may boost growth temporarily but damage soil health in the long run, compost restores fertility naturally and improves soil structure, moisture retention, and microbial life. To make a balanced compost that mimics the traditional approach, mix green materials like vegetable scraps, fresh grass clippings, or weeds with brown materials such as dry leaves, straw, or shredded paper. The correct ratio is 2 parts brown for every 1 part green. Keep your compost pile moist, but not soggy, similar to the feel of a damp sponge. Water lightly every few days if it dries out. Within a few weeks to months, depending on your climate, you'll have dark, crumbly compost ready to feed your garden. This method requires no machines, no synthetic additives, just nature's cycle doing the work for you. And it still outperforms many commercial soil enhancers today. One of the most effective ancient hacks is creating natural liquid fertilizers from plants themselves. Generations ago, farmers learned that steeping nutrient-rich plants in water produced a powerful tonic that boosted growth faster than raw compost alone. Modern gardeners now call these plant ferments, or teas, and they can be made at home with nothing but water, a bucket, and plant material. A reliable formula is to chop 1 kilogram of nutrient-rich plants such as comfrey, nettle, or young weeds, and place them in a 20-liter bucket. Fill the bucket with water, cover loosely, and let it ferment for 10 to 14 days, stirring every 2 days. Once the liquid turns dark and has a strong smell, it is ready to use. Dilute 1 part of this concentrate with 10 parts water before applying it directly to your plants as a foliar spray or soil drench. The result is a nutrient boost far superior to many synthetic fertilizers because it delivers a balanced mix of minerals and stimulates microbial activity at the same time. Ancient farmers didn't have labs to measure nutrient content, but their results showed this hack builds vigorous plants with remarkable resistance to pests and diseases. Mulching may look simple, but it's one of the oldest and smartest gardening tricks ever discovered. Ancient growers realized that covering the soil with plant residue reduced evaporation, suppressed weeds, and improved fertility over time. Today, despite modern weed killers and irrigation systems, mulching is still unbeatable in its effectiveness. The key is to use organic materials like dry grass, leaves, straw, or wood chips to form a protective layer on top of the soil around your crops. This simple barrier locks in soil moisture, meaning you water less often, while at the same time regulating soil temperature so plants don't suffer stress from heat or cold. As the mulch slowly decomposes, it enriches the soil with organic matter and nutrients. For best results, apply a layer about 7 to 10 centimeters thick around the base of your plants, leaving a small gap near the stem to prevent rotting. This ancient hack creates healthier soil biology and stronger plants without relying on expensive modern irrigation systems or weed control chemicals. In fact, gardeners who master mulching often report healthier crops with less effort than those who depend heavily on machinery or store-bought solutions. Ancient farmers discovered a genius way to make plants work for each other instead of against each other. Companion planting is the practice of growing certain crops side by side so they support each other's growth, repel pests, and improve overall yields. While modern monoculture farming often leads to pest outbreaks and nutrient depletion, companion planting creates natural balance and resilience in the garden. For instance, planting beans next to corn benefits both crops. Corn provides a natural trellis for beans to climb, while beans fix nitrogen in the soil, feeding the corn. Similarly, basil grown near tomatoes helps repel harmful insects while enhancing tomato flavor. Even marigolds, when placed between rows of vegetables, naturally deter soil pests without the need for chemical insecticides. To use this hack effectively, plan your garden layout with pairs or groups of plants that have complementary roles. Not only will your crops grow better, but you'll also reduce your reliance on sprays, traps, and expensive pest control gadgets. This ancient trick shows that sometimes, nature itself is the best gardener. Crop rotation is another powerful secret passed down for centuries. Farmers learned early on that planting the same crop in the same spot season after season drained the soil of nutrients and invited disease. To solve this, they rotated crops, planting different families of plants in different areas of the garden each year. This simple practice kept the soil fertile and crops healthier without needing modern soil additives or pesticides. Here's how it works in practice. If you plant nitrogen-hungry crops like maize in one season, follow it with legumes such as beans or peas in the next season. Legumes restore nitrogen to the soil, balancing fertility naturally. Leafy greens, root vegetables, and fruiting crops can then take turns in subsequent cycles. Ideally, no plant family should occupy the same soil space for at least 3 years. By following this cycle, you not only reduce soil exhaustion, but also break the life cycles of pests and diseases, meaning healthier plants with fewer interventions. Crop rotation is simple, cost-free, and proven for thousands of years. Yet many modern farmers ignore it in favor of chemical inputs that ultimately harm the land. Those who return to this ancient hack often find their soil becomes more fertile and resilient season after season. The truth is, technology in gardening is useful, but it often comes at a cost. Modern chemical fertilizers and pesticides may produce quick results, but they degrade soil health over time. Machines make farming faster, but they also strip away the intimacy and wisdom of working with nature. Ancient hacks, on the other hand, work with natural processes, not against them. They cost little to nothing, are eco-friendly, and build long-term fertility and resilience into your garden. When you compost, ferment plants into liquid fertilizer, mulch, practice companion planting, or rotate crops, you are applying wisdom that has survived centuries because it works. These methods don't just grow food, they create ecosystems. They encourage life in the soil, attract beneficial insects, and strengthen your garden's natural defenses. That's why they still beat many modern tools today. Gardening doesn't need to be complicated or expensive. The most effective methods are often the simplest, passed down from those who worked the land long before us. Composting, fermented fertilizers, mulching, companion planting, and crop rotation are not just old-fashioned. They're timeless strategies that guarantee healthier crops and more abundant harvests. If you want to transform your garden without breaking the bank, these hacks are the best place to start. At Growth Hub Central Crops, we believe in sharing practical, tested knowledge that empowers every gardener to succeed. If you found these ancient hacks valuable, don't keep them to yourself. Share this guide with fellow gardeners and subscribe to our channel for more powerful, research-backed tips that make your gardening journey more rewarding. Your garden deserves the best, and sometimes the best is exactly what's been working for thousands of years.